Hello and welcome back to another dev diary for Imperator Rome. So apologies in advance if I sound a bit weird. I've finally come down with this disease that my son has brought back from the plague factory known as daycare, and my throat's a bit wonky. But leaving all that aside, let's get into this dev diary. Actually, no. You know what? First, let's go over to Arheo's Twitter because he has had another bunch of teasers and images to share for the new patch, and they are always nice to see. So, first off, we have this AI Parthia. Ooh, that's a big, lovely, chunky Parthia. And I just kind of want to share this just to show that, like, there have been changes to the way that the AI work and the way that the AI kind of value conquests, and it definitely seems like, a step in the right direction for sure. You can also see here that the Seleucid Empire did conquer all the way over to here before losing it. Thrace has most of Anatolia, historically accurate. Egypt having bits of southern Anatolia is accurate. It is really nice to see that there are relatively, historically accurate conquests going on. Armenia's looking nice and chunky and strong. I love to see that. It's just really nice to see the AI valuing, the correct territory. There is a bit of border gore still going on. That's undeniable. Like, this Macedon here is weird. I don't know, is that Chersonius there still existing? Interesting. And there's lots of small little nations on the southern coast of Anatolia, but for the most part, this is looking really, really nice. Armenia having a little city here and a little bit of territory here is a bit weird as well. If these kind of like exclaves could stop being so prevalent, then that'd be even better in my opinion. But yeah, that's the first of the teasers. Then we had showing that the Romans can go into Greek. We saw this in a previous dev diary, but now we can see it here in their military traditions. You can't really see, what the requirements are, but it seems like that's cool. And you can see here all the different kinds of traditions as well. The Romans have Greek kingdom, Greek poleis, Roman, and then Italic tribe traditions. It seems. I can't tell if there are any new ones there, but seeing them all laid out there is kind of nice. Yeah, no, that's really cool. That's really cool. I like it. Then we have this one here. We're talking about the different ways that you can talk to other characters in other nations. You can support pretenders, entice governors, wooing generals, recruiting, remarriage, and inspire disloyalty, make friends, and foreign assassination. So yeah, supporting pretender I think is the new one here. It won't be just a point-and-click effect, as Arheo says in the comments here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this manifests itself when you have more than... It's probably an event, right? It's probably event-based. You click this, you get an event. It starts off at 1,000 gold, and then there is further things to do, I would imagine. He's also been playing some CK3 with that lovely Habsburg. Population growth, which is what we're going to be talking about today, is showing some of the different things, with civilization value affecting it, which is quite nice, I think. It does mean that tribes are going to be a little bit slower to grow if civ value is affecting it a bit less. It looks like about half, right? So I'm pretty sure that Rome starts off with a civ level of 40. We have the power to check this. Do I have civ level up here? Yes, I do. Rome is indeed 40. So we've got civ level of 40 giving 0.2. So, that's reasonable. That's quite a hefty amount. Considering, the base is 0.01. So, yeah, civ value is massively impactful. So you're going to see civilized areas growing pops a lot faster, it seems, than tribal areas. We'll see how that makes it play out. And it's another hands-off game here where Rome, again, just showing that the AI is so fucking good at deciding where to go. He's taken Carthage, he's taken all of Italy, he's taken all of Greece. This is a scary time. Look, I really like playing as Greek nations, and, I generally don't have to worry about Rome being, super aggressive. Looks like I'm gonna have to change that opinion, because holy shit, Rome, and also look at this Armenia, like that's insane, that's so cool. Egypt's also really strong, like, it's really impressive, it's actually gonna change the game so much. And then finally, we've got the Emporium Discatore, is a burgeoning metropolis. I think this is actually the same game. It is. This is the same game, and it's showing off the, I can't remember, Atlas, I think it's called, map mode, where you can now see all of the cities and the metropolises and the holy sites and stuff. There is one thing I think is missing here, actually. Well, not missing, but that the AI seems to have ignored. Right? Did we see a date on this? 625. Okay, so they've gone through them like a decent chunk of the game, and they have not built roads. Roman roads are like super cheap. They should be built like everywhere. He's got this. This is the starting road. All these roads exist at the start of the game, I believe. But he hasn't built any more roads. Like, the Romans have not built roads. They need to build roads. The Romans need to start building more roads. So maybe that is somewhere that the AI still hasn't been brought fully up to date, let's say. But anyway, that is enough for the teasers. This is actually the first time I've seen these two because they're only an hour old and I just woke up. So yeah, that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's some good stuff in here. Right, let's get on to the dev diary itself. So, greetings all. My part of today's dev diary focuses on further changes coming to the population system in 2.0. The changes to civilization value mentioned previously opened up further opportunities for a rethink on population growth. In 1.5 and before, cities were largely sustained by prolonged inwards migration. While this is not something I necessarily want to change, we'll be splitting up where the population growth comes from, with dual intentions of letting cities stand on their own ground when growing pops, and allowing for more engagement in how you promote growth in owned territory. Firstly, base pop growth and pop growth from stability have been reduced significantly. Secondly, civilization value now contributes to population growth, stimulating an increased growth rate in developed metropoles. Thirdly, the population growth rate from stored food has been slightly reduced. However, the food consumption of tribesmen has been reduced, making it easier to boost growth in undeveloped tribal territories without also affecting the inherently low population capacity of said land. Lastly, various sources of population growth have been slightly reduced to accommodate the new increases from civ value. So, what does it achieve? Overall, it should be slightly less global growth in the average game, but still enough to take enough control to make long-term decisions valid, and for local factors to have much more of an impact on the fabric of the game. I like how it immediately starts going down. Early warfare. This is the old version. It's interesting that the pop goes down. Why does the pop go down? Either way, it then goes up, and then warm period affects it, and then it goes up until the end of the game. It's a lot more gradual here. It's a lot flatter. Still, you end up in, really, really high pops. We've got, how many? 80,000. This doesn't go above 70,000, so that's good. There's less pops. I still feel like there's maybe a bit too many. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But yeah, that's an interesting graph, for sure. These graphs show the 2.0 build prior to population changes and post-population changes. As you can see, the newer system results in less total population over time, with the marginally nerfed warm period event being one of the main factors. Games in 1.5 had a tendency to balloon in population density towards the end game, due in part to the availability of inventions and modifiers affecting pop growth. With population now being intrinsically related to army sizes, we felt it's time to return to a more realistic interesting growth pattern that still allows the player to manipulate the world situation to their advantage. Related to these changes. Domestic migration has been slowed down slightly. Good, because this was the main like place where you would find mega cities. And settlement production buildings, with the exception of the legation, now reduce outward pop migration to almost zero, unless there are extenuating circumstances such as occupation or overpopulation. That is really interesting. So yeah, the academic consensus appears to be that the usual global increase in population entered a bit of a plateau at around the time Imperator set to around the time it ends. Oh, okay, well, I guess it didn't though. Not here, not in the game. Somewhat tangentially to population changes, we're also going to be gating the maximum research efficiency of nations. The base maximum research efficiency of nations will now begin at 125%. This value can be relatively easy to achieve for small nations, and should still offset technological advancement positively if focused upon. However, a great disparity in tech between large empires and city-states was simply too easy to achieve. Yeah, because it used to be 300%. This is a massive nerf to like the small city-states, but one that's kind of necessary, I think. We still want technology to be a valid choice in nation building. However, and numerous nodes have been added to the invention tree, increasing the maximum research efficiency that a country can achieve. So if you want to build a state as a shining beacon of technological advancement, it's entirely possible, but you have to weigh up this decision against other valuable advancements. Okay, so it starts at 125%, but you will be able to grow it if you decide to go that way. That makes sense. Yeah, sure. So, with that, I'll hand you over to ChopMist to take you some of the map changes coming in 2.0. The recurrence of the infamous glowing borders bug in a recent screenshot. Yeah. We've seen that a few times, but it's a bug we've seen before. It gets fixed. It's all good. So, I had to cough. So, Marius map changes. The cartographically committed among you have noticed that Anatolia and Phoenicia have received a facelift in the Marius patch. These changes begin as small tweaks to the region as we reworked the Antigonid split event, but grew as the patch progressed. In the end, the whole peninsula was overhauled, Anatolia being an important region across the time span of the game and to the Diadochi Wars in particular, and one which was arguably not well represented pre-2.0. Population centres, road routes, impassables, lakes, rivers, and more have been tweaked to better reflect the region in the early Hellenistic era. Many thanks to our betas and formites for their research and suggestions, especially Semite and Ketchman friends who will no doubt recognise their labours here. Can I notice anything here? The only thing I really notice heavily is this is now a pass. This didn't used to be a pass. Do I notice anything else that jumps out at me? Not really. Maybe this mountain range here is new. Because I knew this one was always there. I didn't know there was a second mountain. Actually, there's a lot more impassables here. There's a lot more. That's yeah, it's a lot more impassable stuff going on. Like this here, this was always there, but there's a bunch of stuff here that I don't believe was there before. Yeah, no, it looks cool. A lot more impassable. Well, I mean, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the way that the map works. I mean, you can't walk directly from Anissa to Arsaxa, but I mean, it doesn't matter. You can go around it. Yeah, no, that's interesting new terrain. I like it. In addition to southern Anatolia is now split between small native tags who cannot directly threaten Antigonus, but make movement more awkward and soften the underbelly of the kingdom, representing the lax central control around these mountains. Oh right, yeah, there's new nations. Like a lot of new nations. Why didn't I realize that one? Yeah, no, that's definitely new. Like, if we have a look at what it's like at the moment, Antigonids just own most of, like, until we get to Rhodes, all of this is owned by the Antigonids. So all of these are new. Yeah, no, that's a huge change. Why didn't I notice that? It also explains why... Oh, no, not here. It also explains why there's so much border gore in southern Anatolia here, because they just never conquered it. Yeah, no, that's a big change. Lycia and Olbia will begin as subjects of the Antigonids, who will retain their Persian road from Kelene to Perge, along with the Pamphylian coast, unless they abandon the east. This makes the Cilician gates much more important until these tribes are brought under proper control to provide more native Anatolian stats, several cultures of which have now received formable tag decisions. These are the Cilician gates here, of course. As part of these changes, the Anatolian culture group has been broken up, with the addition of cultures. Moreover, Bithynian has been moved from the Hellenistic to the Dacian group, which has also received the new Mariandinian culture. Elsewhere, Paeonian has been added to the Illyrian group, and Teleotic has long last been added to the Occidental group. Cool. Oh, this is... There's another tag here that is not on this screenshot. That's interesting. Yeah, this guy is new. You'd want to conquer him immediately. Because, yeah, not owning these gates is rough. Interesting. Post-division view, Southern Anatolia. Oh, yeah, post-division. Wait, so this one's pre-division? That's the starting situation. Oh, no, I understand. So if, when the Antagonids take their decision mission thing, then this happens and these guys get spat out, because we've got Thrace here and... Yeah, and then this is the Seleucids here owning this part. So this guy appears when the Antagonids are defeated. Makes sense. Okay. These changes will hopefully make fighting in and ruling over Asia more interesting, though other parts of the world haven't been totally ignored. The above screenshot also highlights the changes to mountain passes, the smallest of which are no longer ownable, instead being wastelands with very low combat width, which serve as choke points where a smaller force can hold off a larger one. Cilicia Pidius is surrounded by such passes with only the coastal route to Pamphylia, avoiding these bottlenecks. Okay, so this is super interesting as well. This is super interesting. So, they do have roads over them, which is nice. I wonder if that means you can build roads over wastelands now. Interesting thought. But the very interesting part of this is you can no longer build fucking huge-ass level 207 fucking forts here. You can't hold these gates with fortresses, which means you're going to have to actually station troops on them. And if you station too many, you're going to get attrition to hell because there's not much supply limit there. This is super interesting. This makes multiplayer very different. This is very interesting. I like this. I like this. Do I like this? I do like this. Because this was super stale. This was super, like, when you're fighting one side versus the other, like, when I played as Macedon most recently, we were fighting against the Seleucid player, who did own a lot of Southern Anatolia, but we managed to push him back. We didn't manage to push him further than this, because he owned the Cilician gates. There was nothing to do. There was no way past, because mountain forts plus a big army was enough. I think there is an opportunity here that would no longer be quite as much the case, because you're going to have to garrison them both, and also have, you know, a larger army stationed behind the mountains. Instead, what used to be was there are forts here, so you can just station your armies wherever they need, and they can get there in time no matter what. So yeah, that is a huge change, and I think it's probably one for the better. I like it. Yeah, no, that's good. And they use one of the passes here. The supply limit of 5. Oh, that is going to be super interesting then. Interesting, very interesting. Okay. So we've got new countries. I'm not going to read through them because, yeah, my throat's killing me, as you can probably hear. Oh god. So yeah, you can read through these. New cultures as well, new formables. You've got some major rivers as well. Cilicia, Britannia. Britannia's got the Thames, nice, and the Humber Estuary. Cilicia's got Seyhan and Burden. Scythia's got the Don and the Volga. Cisalpine Gaul's got the Po. Oh, the Po River Valley is now a proper major river. Nice. And then Hispania's got the Ebro. Oh, nice. Yeah, here's the Po River Valley. The the river actually is on the map. Oh, this looks so much nicer. This looks so much nicer. I like that a lot. I like this a hell of a lot. I would love to see Britannia as well. Cilicia's got 2 major rivers. We can see Cilicia here, right? Yeah, there's a major river. I believe that's also slightly a major river. It kind of looks like one. Is that the one they're talking about? Because this is Cilicia here. Yeah, it is. That's a major river there. Very short one. But yeah, that's super interesting. I like that a lot. I like that a hell of a lot. That's really, really cool. Alright, let's see if there are any dev responses, and if not, I'm just going to give my thoughts and get out of here because my throat is on fire. Does this mean the game is in closed beta? We have had betas in the project since long before it went live, helping use testings and provide research. Yeah, I think all the games have closed betas and beta testers. That's nothing new. Is there going to be a live stream soon? Ooh, a Wednesday live stream. I wonder if he's talking about the live streams that they already do, which is on version 1.2, or if he's going to live stream 1.5, which would be really nice. Please answer the question regarding the Hellenistic flavor pack from the deluxe edition. How will it impact unit graphics? The unit models from the flavor pack will use for legions, whereas the levies will use the same models as other Greek nations. Okay. How many innovations do we get from a single tech level? 1. Perhaps get more from other sources. We long to see you again, but I think he was asking for a 2.0 live stream. Yeah, no, I guess not then. We've wanted one for a while. It's unclear when exactly it will happen. I don't know what the great Troy Star has planned, or for when this is Troy. Yeah, it's up to him. There's also no restriction on how we use them. So, for example, an innovation gained from a civic tech can be spent on a military invention. Yes, okay. I think this could be achieved by letting population in a territory increase pop growth itself. At the moment, Strataterra balance does this by that civ value looks arbitrary to me. Well, no, this looks arbitrary to me. It's fucking what? In reality, this would result in difficult to control snowballing, though I understand the attraction. The initial decline in population due to all the wars going on at the start, mostly yes. There's a lot of unit migration in the starting period, which hides a lot of the starting pops as migrant units. That's also fair. Okay. Alright, cool. My thoughts. I like it. Anything to, slow down rampant pop growth and make it a bit more realistic is cool. I also really like the starting situation of Anatolia. It's definitely going to be my first campaign playing as the Antagonids. That's going to be, number 1. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to playing in this region. It looks nice. It looks very, very nice. But anyway, I'm going to go get a cup of tea with some honey in it because my throat is on fire. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this Dev Diary, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.